Hello everyone, welcome to the first round of competitive Magic for the series with the new set. Last season this was filled with budget Magic. Now instead I think I'm going to gear more towards either one, bringing old archetypes back and testing them out with new cards, or two, testing existing meta decks with the new cards. So that way maybe you can see a little bit of gameplay if you plan on switching and making these adjustments to see if they're worth it or not. Today, the first episode is going to be featuring a old deck that kind of vanished, and that is Mono Black Aggro. Now, I'm going to try this deck out. Hopefully this deck does quite well. We have some few new additions, right? We have, I'm trying out 2 Pylons, a Sword of Once and Future. I don't think this card is going to be very good. I don't think it's going to make the final cut, but I do actively kind of want to try it. We do have a decent amount of instant sorceries at 1 mana, so hopefully we can flash some stuff back, get extra value, and go from there. So if you guys like this kind of content, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share this video if you like, and let's get into the deck list. So as you can see, we have the old stock list of Blood-Soaked Champion, of Evolved Sleeper, Knight of the Even Legion, very low to the ground aggressiveness. We have Misery Shadow for a little bit of graveyard hate, as well as it just is a nice mana sink, which is good in a aggro deck. Underdog, Gix for card draw, Trespasser as a top end, Forethought Seizes, 2 cut downs for a little additional extra copies of like Fatal Push. So, and then we have a couple Pylons. Once sideboard, we have Duress. We can bring out the Fatal Pushes against control, get those stupid Wraths out of their hand. Grass is pretty good against mono green. We have Shield's Edict against Boggles. We have a brand new card, Glistening Deluge, as a way to hate on white and green. So it does not affect our creatures all that much. So it'd be kind of interesting to see how that works out. Then we have Phyrexian Arena as a way to grind through like mid-range. And then we have Leyline of the Void for graveyard hate, because we don't want to invest mana into our graveyard hate. We just want to have it for free. So that is Mono Black Aggro for Pioneer. And let's get into it. The Vini Triumph passes. Alright, I guess we play Mutavault. Go. Since I don't think the Swamp is really going to matter, because whatever plays a Triumph probably doesn't play early drops. Hollow Fountain, reinsuring that early drops are probably not a thing. Plays a tap though. Passes. We're going to play Urborg. Misery Shadow, go. Plays a tap Triumph. Passing. Blood-Soaked Champion. Castle Lockwayne. Go to combat. Attack you? I'm going to do Sword, because it's a great time to drop it. Ketra Triumph. So now he has Domain online. Fable of the Mirror Breaker. So we draw a Swamp. So first things first, I think I go ahead and equip. Cut down. And Champion. Go to combat. Smack face. Surveil 2. Graveyard. Graveyard. No, we won't cast anything. Pass the turn. Discards an Incarnation. Interesting. Touch of the Spirit Realm. Eats my Shadow. Play another Swamp. Equip. Play Blood-Soaked Champion. Turn on the Mutavault. Attack for 6. Step past the turn. Graveyard. Graveyard. No. Incarnation. Stomping Grounds. Tapped. Passing. What are you gonna do? If you sack Reflection, right? I'm pretty sure that gets exiled. So he gets a 4-drop. Omnath. That's fine. Play another land. Turn on Mutavault. Go to combat. Attempt to attack you for a decent amount of damage. Can block here, but we'll just pay into the shadow. He can't block here because of pro blue. All right, so he blocks like that. Changes his mind. Block this, or block here. All right, so he submits it like that. So we'll pay in a few mana into it. The question is, do I want to do enough to where he stays alive? Probably. So Sword fires off. A Blood-Soaked Champion graveyard. Sleeper top. No. Pass the turn. I do like the fact that I can surveil away the champions and then raid them, which is kind of interesting. Fires of Invention. That gets like the wolf guy, Tulsamir. The fight, gain some life. Heliod. Gets back Touch of the Spirit Realm. He blinks my Misery Shadow. Okay. Oh, it's to the end of the turn. Okay, you probably should have done that on his end step when he should have exiled it. Now probably comes sacrifice this, get the Tolsimir, so he gets to gain 3 life. He fights there, which is kind of an awkward fight. Probably been better to fight the 2-1 so you would have more blockers. We equip, because essentially all you did is make me have to pay 2 for equipping. Attack, attack. He blocks. Okay, he blocks here. Blocks here. Pay into the shadow twice. And play Evolve Sleeper. Pass the turn. Another Fires of Invention. A Fable of the Mirror Breaker. Sacks the Fires. What are you grabbing? Elishnorn? Alright, so if I pay into this, 1, 2, 3, so he'd be a fine trade. Or he could take out a Norn, so that's fine. Most likely what happen, he'll chomp with the Goblin token, which lets us play more stuff pre-combat to put this game away. So we drop Misery Shadow and pay into the Evolve Sleeper. Pass the turn. Gets another Incarnation. Probably should have attacked there. There's like no downside in that. And it has Vigilance. So sacks an Incarnation. Gets a Kenrith. You sack Fable the Mirror Breaker. Sacks the other Incarnation. Fails to find. Interesting. Go to combat. Attack, attack. He has to block both. Question is, how does he block? Blocks this. Blocks here. So I can only take out 1. I think it's correct to do this one because he can start gaining life and pay 1 into there so it doesn't die. Okay, pass the turn. I think next turn I'm just going to swing out with everything. Becomes a 3-3. Temporary lockdown? Wow. Yeah, gotta be kidding me. That's fine. Puts Karuga into hand? Sure. Graveyard Trespasser. I think I Knight and get rid of the Karuga so he doesn't draw cards. We can attack with the Knight of the Eben Legion without any issues. Fires of Invention. No attacks for the opponent. Mutavolt. Equipped to the Knight. Go to combat. Attack? He has to block. He blocks with Norn. Hit him. Sure, Norn down. Pass the turn. Next turn I should be able to blitz. And then turn on Mutavolt too. So I don't think there's a way out from here for him. Boom. Crush a Giant. Probably should have just stomped it. To be honest with you, should have just stomped. Passes. Play a Swamp. Blitz in the underdog. Turn on the Mutavolt. Makes a copy of the Bone Crusher. That's fine. Attack out with everything. Eat Norn and Karuga. Take him down to 3. So he could trade and he could trade. But he dies. That was a good start. That was a grindy one. Against this matchup, we definitely bring in Duresses. Cut the cut downs. Probably bring in a Phyrexian Arena for another push. An Edict for a push. Alright, so we're 1-0 so far. We crushed him into submission, and he basically just scooped. Didn't want to face us anymore. So, let's get into the next. Swamp. Knight. You. Skrill for the opponent. Passes. Mutavolt. Misery Shadow. Go to combat, smack face, pass the turn. Okay, so this is Boros with Skrill. Not sure what that is. Hammer Time, maybe? Plays a mountain, and it looks like he's debating no attacks. Stomps. That's pretty good. Swamp. Gix. Go to combat, smack face. We will draw a card. Battlefield Forge. I'm still thinking this has to be Spite. Okay. Is it Hammer Time? I don't know. If you know what this is, let me know down in the comment section. Another Gix. Play Hive. Play another Gix. Go to combat, smack face. We will draw another card. Pass the turn. Chain to the Rocks. The Gix. Should have seen that one coming. Play the Generator Servant. Oh, okay. I know what this is. This must be the deck that Magic Age just featured. With Ilharg and stuff like that. Once in future. Man, that is clearly it must be a tongue twister. Equip. Go to combat. Smack face. Graveyard. No. Pass the turn. Well, I was hoping to get down to cut down and kill this servant, but okay. So this must be either the new Hazoret or Ilharg. There's a new Hazoret. Goes attacking. He gets another Hazoret. Take it. Plays the new one. Swamp. Cut down. Is fine. Play a second Knight of the Eben Legion. Go to combat. Attack. Pay into the Knight. Smack face. Down to 5. Graveyard. No. Pass the turn. Get counters on my Knights. So we just have to pray he does not hit a Emrakul. Attacks. If he draws an Emrakul, we will definitely Fatal Push. I'm not sure what. I just don't want him to be able to kill my bigger one. Emrakul. We don't want him to be able to use this against us. Plays a Bone Crusher. We untap. I mean, he should be able to win from here. Turns on a Mutavault. That's fine. Attack with just these two. He has to really. I don't know why he would want to attack with the Mutavault. Yeah, I don't see what the point of the Mutavault was. Unless he has a Spite to shoot the Mutavault. Blocks and blocks. Cast Evolve Sleeper. Interesting. That actually helped me by casting it. I don't know why you would cast Evolve Sleeper. Stomps the Evolve Sleeper. Okay, that's fine. If I had one more land... No, I guess that doesn't really matter. Because 4... You would double block here, take 2, be at 2. Alright, so this matchup, that hits the Hazoret. Seems to be the only thing. Go down the cut downs, which are just probably worse. And maybe Edict. Cut some pushes. Not like that. Hive. Evolve Sleeper, go. Inspiring Vantage. Skrelv. Snow Cover Swamp. Misery Shadow. Go to combat. Smack face, pass the turn. Mountain. Generator Servant. That would be his best play here. Nope. Plays the Ritual. Play another Swamp. Pay into Evolve Sleeper. Into Evolve Sleeper. Go to combat. Smack face, pass the turn. Pathway on red. Visitor. Generator Servant. Passes. Thoughtseize. Play Thoughtseize. So he could easily play either one of these. I think I take a tally. Kill Skrelv. Go to combat. Attack. Play Underdog. Go. We definitely know his Hazoret thing is coming down this turn with haste. So I know he has an Aganju in hand. Please no Emrakul or a Tally. Okay, a Tally. I think it's not as bad as Emrakul, but it's still really bad. Because he could cast Emrakul. Bone Crusher. Plays my Knight. Question, does he stomp or does he play the actual Bone Crusher? Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This would be a 7/7. So I think I just pass the turn. I mean, I go to combat and attack. Because there's no way I could survive a crackback here. Blocks. Blocks. Pay into Shadow. Alright, so he's down a Natali. We just need to avoid death here. We can't blitz that in, hit him for 6, which gets another one of these. Okay, that's not as bad. But he hits us down to 8. That was weird. Should have kept a new one. Now I'm going to play Bone Crusher? Or do you pass and Ganju my sleeper? Which would be a good move, I guess. That's what he decides to do. Shadow. Play Underdog. Pass the turn. Goes to combat. Attacks. It's only a matter of time before he gets a Emrakul. He gets another Djinn Hazoret. We just take it. Down to 3. Casts it. See if he keeps the right one this time. He does. Cracks the Vessel. For 4 mana to his mana pool. What else does he have? Bone Crusher Giant. That's fine. So that means he does not have a Ganju up this turn. Evolve Sleeper. How do I play this turn? Well, he does still. A Ganju costs 2, right? Because of this being a legend. I think I just attack with the Shadow. Make it a 5/5. Try to get him to a Ganju it. Okay. Now we pay it in again to keep it alive. Alright, so now it's a 5/5. It does 4. Pump it again. So they trade and we play another Evolve Sleeper. Pass the turn. Alright, so if he attacks again, we will just block it. Give it Death Touch and just kill it. Skrelv, that's pretty good. Are we pushing this to game 3? So that blocks, has Death Touch, plays the Skrelv. You have a decent amount of 5-drops. You could drop an Elharg or something here. He has the 4th one. Wow, he drew every single one. Quite busted, if you ask me. So he's just gonna give it pro black, right? So I guess that means I have to attack. Thoughtseize. That's not really helpful. And we die on the backswing. Man, this is a difficult matchup. Like, so many times he could have just won. But like I said, we couldn't have not attacked. The Skrelv makes us where it can't be blocked by black creatures, and we're just kind of dead. So, all right, 1-1. Let's get into the next. Evolve Sleeper, go. Swamp, Dread Wanderer. Seems decent. Misery Shadow. Swamp, pay into the Sleeper. Play Knight. Go to combat. Smack face. Pass the turn. Overgrown Tomb. Tapped. Goes to combat. Attacks. Hits us down to 18. Play a Swamp. Misery Shadow. Go to combat. Smack face. Pass the turn. Plays another swamp. Death Baron. Interesting. Goes to combat. Fatal push the Wanderer. Untap. Over Urborg. Kill the Death Baron. Put Thoughtseize in the graveyard. Lockwing on top. Smack face. Pass the turn. Another Death Baron. Stitcher Supplier. Castle Lockwing. Graveyard Trespasser. Eat the Wanderer. Pay into the Sleeper. Smack face. We expect Stitcher Supplier probably to block the Shadow to get it off the board. He kills my Sleeper. Crit Breaker for the opponent. Passing. Gix. I'm definitely overpaid. So I'm just going to pay into the Shadow. Go to combat. Attack. Eat the Crit Breaker. So he definitely has to block the Shadow. Or I guess have a push for it. Collected Company for the opponent. Pretty good turn for him. Gets another Death Baron. And a Relentless Dead. How do you block? Question is, can he afford to trade a Death Baron here? I would personally okay, he blocks here, here, and here. It doesn't really matter if I pay into this since it has Death Touch, but whatever. So we deal combat. Everything dies is in this combat phase, so. And then we have a Gix versus his Death Baron. Alright, draws a card. So they're at 3. Dark Salvation. Makes a couple 3/3s. Hits my face down to 18. Thoughtseize. That is absolutely awful. In theory, it only cost me 1 life. So, take the Liliana. Pass the turn. Right, because this is going to deal 1 to me now, so we know they have another Dread Wanderer, so that makes perfect sense. The question is, can we pull off a win? We have him at 3. It'd be pretty bad if we can't close this one out. Draw a card with Lockwing. Trespasser. That's not bad. Still daytime, though. Smacks face. Down to 7. Play a swamp. Trespasser. But, eat Relentless Dead. Downside is we have to exchange it. I think we're just dead now. I think we would have been perfectly... No, we still wouldn't have been fine if he forced us to nighttime. So this would eat 2 cards. It still wouldn't have been enough. Attacks with everything. Go ahead and eat the Wanderer. Yep, dead. Wow. Cut 2 Thoughtseize up 2 Edicts. I don't like that. Swamp. Night. Go. Blooming Marsh. Passes. Swamp. Champion. Go to combat. Hit you with a Night. Pass the turn. Fatal pushes my Night. Okay. Overgrown Tomb. Tapped. Crit Breaker. Cut down. Untap. Okay. Smack face. Pass the turn. We need a land. Accursed. Seems good. Underdog. Guess play the underdog. Pass the turn. No attacks. Champion of the Perished. Colossus. Grows the champion. Misery Shadow. Pass the turn. Yeah, this is not looking great. We can pile on. Surveil, hopefully find a land, but we're falling too far behind at this point. Liliana. Are you going to minus it? Alright, mills 3 cards. If we can somehow draw a land, we can maybe get this Graveyard Trespasser down and start eating this stuff. Crit Breaker. Makes a tap zombie. Yeah. That's pretty good. That's rough. I think we have to kill the Colossus first, though. And I don't think there's a world where I can block with this Tenacious Underdog. No attacks. Seems weird to me. Pile on. Unless he wants to draw cards more. Okay, so we were not going to draw a land. We been both of those. Find another non-land. Gosh, we're good at this. Pass the turn. This is so weird. Like, why are we digging so far and not finding lands? Alright, he draws a card. Untaps. Stitcher Supplier. Grows the champion. Mills. Alright. Ultimates. Sort of ultimate Liliana. Recast the Colossus. Oi. 8/8. That's pretty big. I need a land though. Crap. Yeah, I got that one. So this is a 9/9. This is so rough. Attacks with a 9/9. Again, the Colossus is still better than this Champion of the Perished. Maybe Zombie's good. Zombie's good in the format? Alright, so I think I block here. I don't really have a choice. I need to block something. Pile on the Colossus again. Graveyard. Top. Finally find a land. Wow, that is ridiculous. That's so bad. Eat that Colossus. but it's just so late to the party. I can't really attack because there's a 2-3 right here. All right, draws a card. So we're going to end with a 1-2 record. I'm pretty sure of it. We just got land screwed. And yeah, we came very close last game of winning that one. Champion of the Perished. So we got to chump a champion. But the question is, are we dead still? 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. Yeah, 12. So he just attacks out with everything and he wins. Oh, gets everything menace. So I can't even block the champion. Okay, that gets me. All right, so 1 and 2. Let's get into the wrap up. So what did we learn this week about this deck? And sort of once in future. What a weird sword to say, but it did do some things in the first match. We were able to make our threats bigger. The one takeaway, somehow we got land screwed. We have 23 lands in an aggro deck. Pretty unlikely. The removal felt solid, and the interaction pieces felt solid in the list. We probably want something at the 2-drop slot that gets a little bit of card advantage. Maybe Glyphon Siphoner, I think that's what it's called, like a 2-mana energy dude that whenever it attacks you may draw a card. So maybe that's something we want to look into a little bit more, because we're not able to consistently dig our way through the land pits and bad top decks like Thoughtseize. So I'm not exactly sure the exact numbers, but I do think the 1-drops felt pretty decent. Underdog didn't feel overly impressive. Gix and Trespasser felt really good as a top end threat. If you have anything, recommendations, let me know down in the chat, in the comment section below. And until next time, hopefully you guys have a great rest of your day. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe on your way out the door. Talk to you soon.